everyone. We want to bring you some more updates on the recovery from Tropical Storm Fred. Today we have Haywood County Emergency Services Director Travis Donaldson, who will give you some updates on the progress of that, where we stand right now with the community as far as recovery, and then he'll give you some updates on what the timeline will look like going forward. After that, we'll have a few questions, and we'll also have Sheriff Greg Christopher available for questions at the end of Travis's statements. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Travis Donaldson. I'm the Emergency Services Director for here for Haywood County. Want to bring you a couple of updates for today. Currently, we have 5 confirmed dead. We're actively searching for 1. We do have local search crews working today, heavy equipment. Those local search crews consist of neighboring counties, a few outside agencies, and are mainly made up today of local fire departments, law enforcement, and search and rescue crews. A couple things. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart everybody that's came to help Haywood County, everybody that's came to help the first responders, our law enforcement folks, paramedics, our DOT workers, infrastructure, power companies, bridge crews, Forest Service. You know, those are just naming a very, very few amount of agencies that have actually came to our aid over the past 5 days now. Without all that support, we could not be as far along in this process, this very long process of starting recovery. A couple updates I really want to get out to our community and our folks as far as our status and where we're looking at moving forward. Tuesday afternoon, there was a local state of emergency declared here in Haywood County by public officials. Wednesday, Governor Cooper has also declared a state of emergency from North Carolina. Right now, we're still actively searching for our missing person, but we're also very heavily engaged in damage assessment, trying to get out there. We have numerous crews, numerous resources, volunteer agencies documenting this damage assessment of our area. These are areas in Crusoe, Canton, Clyde, the North Hominy area, and areas out Chestnut Mountain and out toward Buncombe County, as well as a few in Crabtree. I want to stress the importance of us being able to know all of these damages. The way the process is going to work is these damage assessment crews are documenting everything that they find: structural damage, damage to barns, damage to storage facilities, any kind of property damage. That's what we're looking for to document, to generate these reports. These reports are going to be very, very crucial moving forward. Part of the process is we document all of the damage in this report that then pushes out to the state, and from there the state pushes it on to FEMA. That's where we can get the assistance, hopefully from FEMA, to turn on more faucets of resources and funding for the folks that were affected here in Haywood County. Again, I want to stress the importance of documenting the damages that we have incurred. We have those crews out looking for damage. If you see them around, that's what they're doing. They're supposed to be there. They will have official designation, cards, signs on their cars. We need to get those folks into these areas, so if you see them around, be willing to talk to them and show them what you've got going on. A lot of folks are already starting the cleaning process and trying to clean up and muck up and try to put their lives back together. That's great. That's what we need to do. It's what we need to do to be resilient and get back to normalcy, whatever that looks like going forward. Document, photograph, call your insurance companies. Make sure you do all that stuff before you start cleaning up. Again, we're working on the debris side of it. That announcement will be coming fairly shortly as far as debris pickup and how that process will look. Currently, you need to be placing those debris piles, separate them out the best you can, and take them toward the road, not to be blocking the road, but however, clear the right of way. FEMA's aware of our situation. The state is in communication with those folks and doing everything that we need to do to move that process along as quickly as we can. But again, I stress the importance of making sure that we capture everything that happened to everyone. As of today, we have recoverhaywood.com. That website is up and going. It is a resource for anybody affected by the flood to go to be able to figure out who to call for assistance, feeding, housing. All that information is centrally located there on that website. Again, that's recoverhaywood.com. The other important factor here is, again, still making room for our responders actively searching, our DOT folks, as well as our power and data infrastructure folks trying to get into the areas to start working on some of these secondary roads that were affected. Our DOT has been awesome. The contractors have been awesome, and they have made tremendous strides in getting those areas accessible again. I want to thank them for their hard work. For those of you that are wondering if somebody has been by to look at your house, you should have some sort of signage on it if they have been there. If you would like to report storm-related damage that you think nobody knows about or somebody isn't aware of to come look at, please call 828-356-2022. That is our flood hotline, and those folks can get you documented and make sure that we get somebody out there to look at your property. Again, I want to thank everybody for all the outpouring of support. Donations have been tremendous. There's stuff coming from all around the country, locally. I also want to mention that our folks are going to be hurting and needing for a good while. Right now, we have donations on donations and almost running out of space for those. We still want you to donate. Our folks are still going to need help, but I want to remind everybody that currently we're in a marathon and we're not in a sprint. So if we could keep that stuff coming and spread it out over the next weeks to months, that's very important for our folks to be able to get those resources and get that help later on. What I don't want to happen is for 3 weeks from now, everybody forget about what happened to our communities and them still be in need. Thank you.
Okay, we'll turn it over to questions now.
Our station has gotten maybe 1 or 2 calls about moving of homes in the area. Is that,
Moving.
I'm not sure if that was if that's a trend or if that's happened or if that was a rumor or like that.
What was your question?
Sorry, there was a call to our station about people looting homes.
About looting, okay.
Is that,
I'll let the sheriff address that question.
Good afternoon. John, we have had 10 reports of either suspicious situations and or looting in the area. We have stepped up our patrol from the sheriff's office standpoint. We've also requested assistance from the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and they have assigned 7 troopers to the Crusoe community, and so those 7 troopers will be working in the area, and that is going to be on a 24-hour-a-day basis until further notice. The Highway Patrol has been instructed to stop vehicles that don't fit the area, and to also ask questions of people that are just walking up and down the road that appear to not have any business in the Crusoe community. So we're going to try to put a halt to anything that is a concern of the people who have worked all their life for the things that they have at their home. So hopefully that's going to end soon.
Are all of those suspicious cases in Crusoe, or are they all over the county, and are there any arrests?
We actually have had all of those calls have come from the Crusoe community in some way, and we have not made an arrest. But as we have saw people that was walking and or driving in and out of the area, we have trespass warned them to not be back in the community, and we have a documentation of who that is. Yes, sir.
Do you have a number of how many houses were totally destroyed or lost?
Travis.
To recap your question, you were asking about the number of houses damaged or lost. That's still actively ongoing. The damages are definitely significant, hundreds and hundreds of damaged homes. I don't have your exact number for homes that are completely gone. I can tell you that I personally know of probably at least 5 or 6 just in my travels.
Do we have a dollar amount of the damage that we assessed so far? Do you know how much?
The last figure I had was a couple days ago, asking about a dollar figure for damages. That's what we're really honing into the next few days, trying to get a good, accurate count for that. I don't want to speak to it because I don't want to speculate.
Travis, earlier you talked about the proper procedure for debris removal. Do we know where that debris is going once it's picked up and carted away?
The county as well as the state are working on designated areas. They have to be permitted. There's a process for all that to make sure that it's done properly. We've got areas that we have in mind, but again, we're not ready to release that just until we get all that final documentation back from the state for all those permits.
And then how can a property owner tell what their responsibility is in cleaning up debris around their property, or government help that may be coming or is already on the scene? What's the dividing line?
Okay. To recap your question there, you're asking, what am I cleaning up? What am I not cleaning up? What am I leaving for help to clean up?
Yes, sir.
We've got resources that are on the ground now. A lot of that is going to be focused back down to volunteers that are helping clean up, the residents that are helping clean up. Obviously, getting those debris piles accessible, that's going to be a big portion of that is helping getting that debris into a central location to where those folks that are going to be managing the debris can then get it out and get it removed.
And then last one for you. What's your awareness of how the process with the federal disaster declaration is playing out? Is that imminent?
I can tell you that the process for the federal declaration there are a lot of steps to it. If we don't do it accurately, we hurt ourselves. So we're really putting strong emphasis on doing it correctly, methodically, and as quickly as we can. It's not an immediate, hey, here it is, you had a disaster, we're going to turn all these spigots and faucets on with help. There's a lot of work in the background. We have a full IMT staff working on it, and we're doing everything as quickly as we possibly can, but still as accurately as we possibly can. And again, that's going back to that importance of stressing and making sure that we document everything that we potentially can.
What about sewage? We've heard a lot about sewage moving, a lot of people are on septic tanks here. Do you have any idea of how many gallons of sewage or waste is?
To recap your question there about asking about sewage and private sewer tanks and systems, I don't have a number for that. Obviously, a lot of that went underwater. We're encouraging folks that are there working to use safe methods, gloves, and be conscious that the mud and debris that they're working on is not clean. There are dangers and hazards there. Our health department and some other folks are working to put some stuff in place as far as some tetanus vaccinations and stuff like that. That stuff's forthcoming. It's in the works, but that is definitely something to be conscious about because a lot of that area is dirty and we don't really know what's in the water. We just know it's bad.
Speaking on the 5 individuals confirmed dead and the one searching, those individuals been identified and their next of kin notified?
Your question was asking about those 5 fatalities that we've had and their identities. Those have been identified. I believe those were in our last press release that was sent out to everybody. I don't have those names in front of me, but yes, next of kin have been notified.
And the one that you're searching for, has that person been identified and next of kin notified that they're missing?
Your question was about if the one that we're still looking for is identified. Yes, we do know who that missing person is that we're searching for.
And if anybody has any tips, what should they do?
If anybody has any information that we haven't already gathered, please get those to the Haywood County Sheriff's Office.
Just for clarification, earlier you mentioned local responders, cleaning things up. Do we still have responders from Raleigh and all over the state here helping out, or is it largely local folks now?
To answer your question about the responders that are here currently working today, the majority of those folks working today are local or surrounding counties. The bigger USAR teams, a lot of those we're working to demote those because they've been here since the start of this, and we need to get those guys back and get them rested. But we're finding the fine balance of what we need without still completely overwhelming that area and finding that balance. So a lot of the folks today are local. We do still have some outside agencies working though.
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap that up here shortly. I do want to reemphasize just a couple things. If citizens have questions and they need to start the process of where to go to find that information, a great place to start is our brand new website. It's recoverhaywood.com. That will have all the information, phone numbers, places to get started getting help. You can also call the helpline at 828-356-2022. You can check the Haywood County Emergency Services Facebook page for information. And we also have flyers and signage going out to the communities for those who don't have internet access to make sure they're getting all the information that they need. So at this time, we'll go ahead and close it out, and thank you for coming.